The karmic, the soulmate, and the twin flame all went into a bar. I'm just kidding. Hi everyone, I'm Nicole Peretti with Twin Flame Revolution. I'm one half of Twin Flame Revolution. I'm a consciousness mentor. It is 5 a.m. I just woke up, so I'm gonna try to speak well. I haven't gotten this started, but the message came through because I was going through some comments and I was noticing how much people really will bash, or not bash, but the way they talk about their karmic relationships or soulmate relationships like they're not important, right? Like not everything that you're creating in your life is just a vibrational part of you. So what you're saying when you look at your karmic or your soulmate that's not your twin flame and you're like, that's just, what you're saying is that about yourself. Because whether it is you at high vibration that's attracting that soulmate, whether it's you at shadow or you're in your wound and you have all these distortions about yourself that you don't deserve much, and then you start to, when you're in that victim mode, guess what happens when you're in victim mode? Oh, you'll attract the narcissist. You'll attract the covert narcissist. You'll lock in places and go, what was that? And what it is it's showing you something. Every karmic soulmate twin is showing you things about yourself. Karmics and soulmates, when you see them, you have had lifetimes with them. You remember them. You will have that feeling, almost like when you meet your twin. You'll have feelings that are very similar. The difference is the longevity that you feel with your twin, that pull, that polarization, that once you meet each other, whoo, it's really hard. I mean, you can do a lot of work to try to run. You can do a lot of work to try to ignore those feelings, ignore yourself, ignore the work. I've seen it done. But in the beginning, you remember that. And, it's interesting when I look back at all my relationships, I have been with many soulmates and many karmic people where I felt like we were cleaning something up. Those were so important. The pain I went through showed me love. Let me explain that. There were relationships that weren't my match, not my match, right? It was hard. There was things done to me. I did things. There were wound against wound, vibrational. So when we get wounded, what happens is we go into fear, and then fear produces the stories, right? Out of fear breeds stories about this, the wound, stories about this, right? All kinds of things like life is painful. I will always be hurt. I'm never going to be okay. I'm never going to get clean. I'm never going to be able to find the right partner. I'm never going to be happy. I'm never going to have money. I'm never, right? I have to. When you've been injured, right? When you've been wounded or impacted by things, right? I have to not open my heart. I have to shut my heart down. I have to cheat. I have to hurt them first. I have to do drugs. I have to stay in the house, right? I have to. We lock into these stories from the fear. And so any relationship that you get into, doesn't matter, any relationship is going to start to knock on the door of your stories. The door's gonna open, right? I think it's like maybe 2 to 3 months you could hide. You could hide 2 to 3 months in the relationship. You could flirt, you could have fun, you could tell stories and get to know each other. It's not that deep. You guys are having sex, really good sex, and then all of a sudden the knocking, because now the stories. Because once you start loving, once you start to care here, right? You have a connection, right? When we start to care, love is this connection, right? Love is not just an emotion. It's you start to have this connection with someone, right? You're listening, you're seeing and hearing each other. It's deep. It's like all we want is that in life, is to be able to be just recognized as human and being loved for just being human, right? It's just a beautiful thing, right? But then all of a sudden, like each person, every relationship that you get into has something for you, has shown you something, right? A lot of my relationships showed me things about myself that were not me. I saw things in me that I was like, whoa, that's my dad. Whoa, that's my mom. Whoa, that's a story. Wow, that has nothing to do with you. You have done that out of the fear and out of your stories. You have created this version of yourself that isn't you. Many of my relationships mirrored back to me things that I wanted to change in my life. I dated addicts, right? I'm an addict. And I remember times where I was like having to make a decision on getting help or not. And I would choose to get help, and people that I was with did not. And I would be free, clean, and watch someone that I love very much go to jail for years. So, and just sit with that, like, whoa, like that could have been my choice. And there was always something. There was always something, right? Like even when I left Dove, right? Even when I left Dove and I spent time with somebody else, like I got to see how much of a match I was with Dove, right? I got to see that there was parts of me that were resisting Dove because they were not me. You guys are seeing things in all your relationships, wherever you are. Don't dog that relationship. I don't care if that's not your twin flame. That could still be, oh, what a connection. Right? I have connections with friends right now. There's so much love in there. Right? I don't get all my needs met from Dove. I mean, my sex needs I just get from Dove because I'm a monogamous little being. But like all my other needs, I get a little from Dove, a little from here, a little there. Like my family's showing up for me, my friends are showing up for me. Like and when we're talking about, now we're just going back to relationships. Each piece has a code, a key, an understanding for you. They're not by mistake. How many of you guys were like, oh my God, I just dated the narcissist for 2 years. And that was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. And it is, with a real narcissist, is some of the most abusive things I've ever seen, mind like manipulation that I've ever watched in people's lives. So don't get me wrong, the abuse is deep, right? The stuff is deep, but I've seen people heal from it. I've seen people grow from it. I've seen people, guess what those people do now? They will never, hear me out, they will never put themselves in that position again. They know that position. They learned from that. They talk about that. They share on that. They're talking about it to you about that. So when I see something like that, when I see that shift, I gotta sit there and go, well, even that did something good. Everything is reconcilable. And the parts that cause those relationships come up to be seen. They come up to the light to be healed. They come up so that it doesn't happen again. Not to say it can't happen again, it can. More likely that it won't. Because something in us allows these things. And so we date these people and we learn what we are not. And baby, we learn what we are. So wherever you are, and I said this before, wherever you are, whatever relationship you're on, honor it in whatever relationship you are in, honor it. And if what you want is a sacred partnership, if what you want is someone to be your vibrational match, like your highest version vibrational match, like your vibration of your values and the way you see life and the way that you honor life and the way that you love life. If you want to find that match, the way to do that is by you becoming that, and you yourself loving you so much.